Before I say anything, I would just like to say that I have been sitting here trying to calm down for about a half hour. I'm about as calm as I think I'm going to get. I was going to make this video right after the episode aired, but I needed to at least allow myself to calm a little bit because I know I yell sometimes when I make these videos, and I used to make a lot of them a while back, and I received many a death threat, and I am not in the mood to deal with that shit. So I am calm and serene and peaceful as I am going to be. And I think now is a good time to begin discussing what happened between Tristan and Myles in this episode. Before I really say anything, I would just like to say that I fucking hate Tristan. Like, more than I hate almost anyone on the show. Not counting like rapists or you know, murderers. But you know what? I think I might hate Tristan more than I hate Rick, and that is saying something because I really hate Rick. Now, in this episode, Myles and Tristan are running for president. Tristan starts off being very extra. He's like, what the crap is Myles doing here? Like, he doesn't go to the school. He's like, I thought he went to boarding school. It's like, well, okay, well, maybe he didn't go. Like, why the fuck wouldn't he be at the school? And, Myles is, being friendly, saying hi, whatever. Tristan's, like, being a dick, like, oh, I didn't see you there. Like, being a total fucking asshole. And then, people on Twitter have been to be like, oh, Soleil Tristan, like, he's being a prick. And, okay, so then I can't remember what happens next because I don't want to go back and rewatch the episode. But then Tristan has this campaign slogan, everyone's gay best friend. And I would just like to sit down, and this isn't going to be a rant about the writing of the episode because I actually think it was better than it has been for the most part. However, it was very annoying to me that Tristan can use the slogan, everybody's gay best friend, and everyone in the school is going to be okay with it, and that he is going to win second place in the election. Now, I don't know what school Degrassi is. I know for a while it was a fucking transphobic place, a homophobic place, and now apparently a biphobic place, but I will get to that later because I still need time to calm down. So Tristan has this campaign slogan that apparently is not going to get his ass beat because everyone in Degrassi is okay with being gay. Everyone's fine. They don't care. No one cares that Tristan's gay. No one cares. As long as you're happy, that's fine. Because at Degrassi, that is supposed to be a realistic show for teenagers, it is okay to be gay, and no one is going to have a problem with it. You don't even need to come out. Everyone's like, you can just be like whatever, and everyone's gonna be like okay, because that is how it works in real life. Okay, Degrassi. Okay. No, I'm sorry I'm sitting like this. My posture is really bad because I'm like sitting cross-legged on the ground. Next. Oh yeah, then Myles is like. By the way, I love how Myles has a giant poster of himself in the school. Like, just perfect. I love Myles, and it says like, I it says like something like I play for everyone's team, which like yeah is annoying. He's also not getting his ass beat for having that in the school, but I also thought it was funny, especially because like Tristan is like, oh, using your sexuality to win a campaign is my idea. Like, Tristan, shut the fuck up. Like, anyone can do that. Like, hell out of here. And then Myles is having a campaign party at his house that everyone is attending because the Hollingsworths have no supervision. And Myles is like flirting with all these girls, which was kind of funny. And then Tristan like pulls him aside like really roughly, which was annoying. Except Myles was like, "Ooh, I didn't know you like it rough," and that made me laugh. But that was irritating how Tristan was like being like so aggressive with him, like exactly why I fucking hate Tristan. He's so aggressive with everything he does. It's so like And then he wonders why no one likes him. It's because, well, maybe if you didn't fucking grab Myles by the arm and haul him out of his own party, people would like you better. Um, and they go into the room, and Myles starts talking about like how he doesn't want to be alone anymore, and how he wants his campaign to really help everyone in the school. And I got emotional because I was like, yes, that's my sweet angel child. Yes, slay, help everyone. Yes, king. And then of course fucking Tristan is like, and then he's like, oh, not like not believing it and shit. And it's like, well, what the fuck? Like he acts like he didn't know Myles at all. Like we get that you're fucking bitter about the breakup, but guess what, Tristan? You're a terrible fucking boyfriend. It's not all Myles' fault that you guys broke up. Like what the fuck? Trial stands trying to act like everything was Myles' fault. Like yeah, Myles was manipulating Tristan, but it's so confusing because they'll be like, oh, I know all of you are gonna come after me, but as long as whatever. I'm not really saying anything that's not true. You'll all be like, oh, Myles is manipulating Tristan. But then you'll be like, oh, Myles loves Tristan. What the fuck? No, he doesn't. He was manipulating him that whole time while they were dating because he wanted someone to make out with and to not feel alone. And he was manipulating him fucking here. So, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Myles likes Tristan. Fuck out of here. And then Tristan was like, oh yeah, okay. So then Tristan was like, he was like, "Oh well, I don't believe you that you've changed or whatever." And Myles is like, "I know why you're running, Tristan, because you're not over me." It was more suave than that, but and then he was like, "I'm not over you either." And then he kisses Tristan, and I laughed because Tristan is a fucking he is so fucking stupid. It's funny. Like it used to be sad how no one liked him, but I don't care anymore because I hate him. And it was funny. I'm not gonna lie. Everyone's gonna be like, it was emotionally abusive and all this shit. You know what's fucking emotionally abusive? We'll get to that in a minute. And he was, just, and then Tristan just like kisses him back, and they like make out. And then the next day at school, he's like, "Oh, Myles says I look hot in this," and he's like, "We really connected on an emotional level. I want to be his VP." It's like you are so fucking pathetic. Like if he is supposed to be like, if he's the only fucking gay character on the show right now, and that's a fucking embarrassment. Like maybe I'm forgetting somebody, but that's a fucking embarrassment. How fucking dare y'all act like Tristan, like, fucking, he's like, oh, like, it's not even just that he's an idiot. Like, obviously, Myles is manipulating him. They're running against each other. Obviously, he's trying to fucking distract him. And then he's like, oh, um, we're in love, like, blah, blah, blah. We're going to run this campaign together. And what fucking world would that happen? Please let me know. Like, he acts like he's never met him before. I genuinely don't get it. And then, and then Myles like has his like he doesn't have his hand on her boob, but like he kind of does, and he's like flirting with like this minor. And it was funny because Tristan got really upset, and I laughed once again. And then things stopped being funny. And I know that a lot of you are going to try and find some way to defend this. I don't know how you could defend it, but y'all will find a way. You fucking defended. I'm not going to get into that, but you've defended so much problematic shit on the show before. See Adam's death, see Declan and Holly J circa season 10, but see Zig in general, fuck him, but that's another story. So they're doing like their weird, like they're doing like the thing that they don't actually do in real life, where like they're giving their speeches or whatever, and like Goldie the Queen is talking, and then like Myles is like, Tristan says he's empathetic. In what fucking world? Like he does not care about anyone but himself. And then Zoe, no, not Zoe, I'm sorry. And then Myles, I'm not editing this, so let's just deal with it. And then Myles is like, oh, I'm honest. And Tristan's like, honest? You did this and you did this. And he's like bringing up Myles' fucking sex life in front of the entire school. He's like, oh, you can't keep your dick in your pants. Or he probably said you can't keep it in your pants. Because, why would they curse on Degrassi? And because it's not a show about teenagers. And they're not on Netflix now. But yeah, that fucking happened. And then Myles is like trying to calm Tristan down or whatever. And he's like, I was not paying attention to what Myles was saying because Myles literally could have said anything, and it wouldn't be worse than what Tristan fucking said. So they get to the end of like their stupid fight. Simpson's like trying to like shut them both of them up because they're making fucking fools of themselves in front of the whole school. And this is the entire. I mean, it didn't look like the entire school, but I am going to assume that it is the entire fucking school because the entire school would come to a debate on who the school president should be. So I am going to say that it's the entire school. And then Myles said something like, "Oh, at least blah blah blah," and Tristan says, and I quote, "At least I can decide whether I." Oh, it's like, why would you trust someone that can't even decide whether he likes boys or girls? I literally had to put my phone aside so I didn't type up a storm on Twitter. Like, I think I said like two things and then I just kept my mouth shut. That was the worst. I'm still scared to even talk about it because I know that y'all are gonna come after me. But I am so fucking offended and horrified and disgusted because I know that people are going to defend that, and I want to throw up. I don't know. It would be horrible if he said it to Myles with no one around. It would be horrible if he said it with people around. It is fucking disgusting on a whole nother level to say that in front of the entire school. I don't know where Tristan came from. Actually, yeah, I do. He's the brother of fellow piece of shit Owen Milligan, who was a homophobe. So why wouldn't Tristan be fucking a biphobe since, he always talks about how proud he is of being gay and all this shit, but then he has the nerve to go and hate on somebody else's sexuality. Get the fuck out of here. And I know a lot of gays and lesbians are biphobic, and I'm not saying it's bad writing because that's true. A lot of gays and lesbians are homophobic, but to have Tristan say that in front of the entire school was fucking disgusting. He is a lech. He is a fucking vile piece of shit. I wish nothing but the worst for him. And then to top it all off, he has the nerve to go in the bathroom and be upset because he thinks he ruined the election for himself. How about Tristan? Someone gets up. I'm sure we would hear a whole fucking shitstorm from fucking the Teen Nick, the not Teen Nick, the Degrassi official Twitter about how wrong it would be if someone brought up your sexuality and said it was wrong in front of the entire school. I'm sure we'd have to hear a whole fucking storyline of you fucking complaining about it to everyone and being like, we're not treated equally in this school and all this shit, and going on a million rants and like trying to get people fired and complaining and making everything about yourself. But no, when it's about Myles, who no one fucking cares about in this fandom, I don't care if you ship trials. I'm sorry, you do not care about Myles. I am so horrified. I know I said I was going to be calm, but I can't be. I am so upset about this. If someone had gone on that, if Myles had said to Tristan, which he wouldn't, but this is hypothetical, if he had said to Tristan like, oh, like if Myles wasn't bi and he didn't like guys, then he could have said to Tristan something like, oh, well, at least I'm not using my sexuality to win, or at least I'm not flaunting my sexuality, or at least I'm not, and he used like a gay slur or whatever. We would have to spend, can you imagine how long we would have to spend hearing about this shit? It would be like, oh my God, it would be a subplot in every single episode, like why gay bashing is wrong and all this shit. But Tristan can fucking say that shit to Myles because Myles is bi, and apparently bisexuality is not real. And we're never gonna fucking hear about it again because Myles is a stronger person than I am, and wouldn't be taking up a complaint with the fucking school, and having my parents sue the school for allowing Tristan to be fucking president when he said that bisexuality wasn't real in front of the entire school. And I was fucking waiting for Goldie to like, because she's supposed to be like an activist or whatever. I was waiting for her to like call him out in the bathroom, but she didn't. And I'm fucking upset that she didn't, and no one is ever gonna call Tristan out about it. And I am horrified and upset. And then to top it all off on the fucking cake, after he humiliates Myles in front of the entire school, talks about his sex life, brings up his sexuality, says his sexuality is invalid, he gets him fired from being school president. The one fucking thing that Myles wanted, like, Tristan acts like he has such a hard life. Myles' father was abusing him, and Tristan did nothing. He didn't try and talk about it with him. He didn't care. He was an enabler. He just let Myles do whatever the fuck he wanted, and that was it. He did not care. He doesn't give a shit about Myles. You know what he likes? Miles's dick and Miles's lips. That's it. He does not give a shit about Myles as a person. He did nothing while all of that was happening. Nothing. He didn't try and talk to him. He didn't try and stop him from smoking weed all the time when he should be at school. He did nothing. Myles is an abuse victim. He's mentally ill. His parents just got a divorce. He's being forced to help raise his brother and sister. And Tristan has the nerve to act like he has a hard life. Are you fucking kidding me? Are we supposed to feel any sympathy for him? At the end of the episode when Tristan is crying, I was like, good. Fucking good. Cry, and then go fucking fuck yourself. I fucking hate Tristan. And Myles getting fired was complete bullshit. And I know all of you are going to be like, oh, but Myles said that he wasn't over Tristan. That was a fucking lie. Because Myles has been over Tristan for so fucking long. So, bye.